All right. Well, welcome to the iWealth podcast. And today we are with Mr. Brad Connors. And we're talking in particular about 90 days.
Yeah.
You get to meet this new financial advisor. They show up on your radar. What happens in those first 90 days, and what does that feel like?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like dating, Matt.
Okay.
Like euphoric. No, I'm kidding. It's interesting because I think it's different for each advisor. I can just tell you what it's like in our office.
Okay.
In our office, first of all, before you get to become a client, there might be a month and a half before you even become a client. And what I mean by that is, like, we got to gather tax returns, statements. We need to interview you about what your goals are, all those type things, okay? And then once we get that data and we enter it into our systems and processes, and you understand a little bit how we work, then our job is to be able to come back and say, here's some gaps we see, Matt.
Yep.
And then here's some solutions. So you're kind of dating right there, right? You're not married. You're like, what's going on? Now, some advisor firms charge a fee to do that, to date. Okay. They'll charge you a planning fee, $1,500, and you're going to get some output, but we're going to give you our opinion.
Okay.
But you're going to pay for our opinion.
Okay.
I grew up in a household with guys that did plumbing and heating, and I don't think I'm any better than anybody else, and so we don't charge that upfront fee. It's our no-cost guarantee that we offer prospects, call it, that come in and take a look at iWealth, that we're not going to charge them a fee, and we just believe it's reciprocity. Like, we spend an hour and a half with you and your family, and it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, and we move on to next. It's like the right thing to do. So I've had specialists tell me that I'm an idiot, that I should be charging those fees, and we just don't do it. But anyway, so you date, right? So you date, you get statements, you have a couple meetings, you look at the investments, you say, here's the gaps that you have, here's the solutions you have, and you say, yep, go ahead, let's get married. We're going to move things over to you, Brad. You're going to be our financial advisor, and now we're hooked up. So once that happens, that 90 days start, here's what it looks like. There's a lot of paperwork to do. So someone in my office will sit down with you and your spouse. You'll fill out some paperwork. We've got some regulatory things that we need, like driver's license, Social Security, address, all that kind of stuff. And then you move those accounts in, and that looks differently for everybody.
Yep.
So
there's a huge amount of hoops to jump through.
Yeah, there is.
Jumping mania.
But here's what's nice. We do that.
Yep.
So the advisor firm does the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Clients sign the paperwork. We dot I's and cross T's.
Yep.
It's so much different than, we just moved banks recently. It's a pain in the rear end.
Yeah.
You've got ACHs set up you got to change. You got bill pay set up you got to change. Like, it's a lot of work. People don't want to move banks because there's so much work.
Yep.
In our industry, it's easier because we can do that for our clients. You can sign some forms, and we can go out and get your 401k and roll it over. And you sign some forms, and we can get your investment account and move it into our account. Now, we have to pay attention to taxes. We have to pay attention to fees from the other firm that you're coming from. Like, there's some things that need to be worked on as part of the proposal, but you say, yep, let's go. So you sign the paperwork. It takes about 30 to 60 days for us to receive those accounts in.
Okay.
The rollovers and things like that, every company's different. But we're checking along the way. We're dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure they have the forms. Are they in good order? What else do you need? We'll reach back out to you. You'll do all that. So in that first 30 to 60 days, we're just gathering all the assets into accounts that you've agreed make sense for you. Once that happens, then we have a 90-day meeting. Come back in, and we go through everything that we just tore apart and put back together. What's it look like now?
Yep.
Is it in the right spots? Does it all make sense to you? Why did we do this again? Just like reiterating the plan again. And then there's always future planning topics that we have to talk about.
Okay.
So does that make sense? Like the beginning,
like
what's going through your head at this point? Does it make sense?
It is a lot of paperwork.
It is. But not on your end.
Not on the client side.
Right. Client can DocuSign or sign it, but there's a lot of paperwork, and that's why I don't do it, because I'm not smart enough for it. We have smart people that process the paperwork. But there's systems and processes in place that make sure that we do everything correctly. And then we communicate. The biggest thing that I've learned over the last 30 years, Matt, is we need to communicate with our clients through this process. They need to know 15 days in, hey, we've submitted these forms, this has come in, this hasn't come in. Hey, 30 days in, we've got everything in, we're good. Set up the next meeting.
Yep.
So that next meeting is either on Zoom or you come in and we just talk about, okay, all your assets are in now, here's the next steps.
Yep.
And then we have after that second meeting, 90-day meeting, call it, then we'll set up a 6-month meeting and then a year meeting, and we'll continue on the plan. We have a proprietary software called 4 Days Coming Plan on Purpose, where we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that plan and kind of have a lifetime plan score for you, and you kind of are on the process at that point. Where do you think, I mean, as being an outsider, what's going through the consumer's mind when they switch advisors like that or consolidate things?
Having been through the process, it's emotionally exhausting. And from the flip side of it, I think the more that they can feel communicated with in a way that lets them know that you know what you're doing. Like, oh, this is a typical thing that they're taking this long to get back. Oh, we've seen this from this particular company that you had the investments on, that they dragged their feet on that to the last possible second.
Yeah.
Or they got back to us right away on that, and that's not typical for them. So because the consumer never has any idea what does typical look like, because they're not spending any amount of mental time in that space. That is the key to all of this, in that first 90-day period.
Yeah. How do you take that $400,000 account in your 401k that's invested in 10 mutual funds?
Yep.
How does that get into this account, Brad, you're recommending, and then get invested? Like, how does that work? And it's paperwork that does it, that brings it in, How long am I going to be out of the market? Like, those type of things need to be communicated up front. But then the ongoing, I just had this conversation with one of our younger client service associates this week about why did the client reach out before we reached out to them about their 401k rollover?
Yeah.
Like, we need to over communicate in that first 90 days.
Yes.
Because it can be stressful. I get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a little bit like a regular relationship, at some point, hopefully it calms down.
Right.
You know, and that's really the holy grail at the end of it is, if we do this correctly, at some point it gets wild. Just naturally, I think, having been through that process, like, the process is just wild in and of itself.
Yeah.
But at some point, the goal is that it becomes calm.
Yeah, and then here's the other stuff. So that's the first 90 days. Like, it's all the paperwork gathering the assets, moving things around, and then a follow-up meeting to say, here's what just happened and why again. And everybody's comfortable. Here's what I've seen, though. I've seen advisors then, so get back to the dating. So you date, then you get married. And like some marriages that go awry, they quit dating. Like they just, things get stale, and all of a sudden that's why we got a 50% divorce rate. And we don't need to get into all that today. But here's where it fits from the financial planning side. We're not marriage counselors, right?
We're not marriage counselors.
Unless you want to go there, we can go there. Yeah. Here's what happens, though. I see the sin of an advisor of not following up, having regular meetings, and planning with their clients.
Yeah.
Like, if you're sitting there today listening to this and you see your advisor, every other year, and it's to review your investments and here's how they've done, and how's the weather, and your kid's doing okay, and that's it. Like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. The advisor should be bringing to the table planning topics for you to talk about. And it should be about Social Security analysis. It should be about your life insurance. It should be a beneficiary review. Do you need a family meeting? Like, there's all these things that should be an ongoing conversation.
Yep.
And that marriage, to keep the spark alive and continue to do the right thing in planning. And I see advisors all the time that miss the boat. They're euphoric. They get the rollover. They help the client. get the money in the right spots, and then they just kind of fade away, and they don't continue to do the planning.
Yep.
I see that as a big black eye on our industry.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's an easy thing because all of the fun is in the dating period.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And once you're through that,
Yeah.
then it just kind of becomes the slugging it out over a long period of time.
Right. And what I've learned, and I've taught our team that, and I appreciate, is when you sit across from a widow that doesn't know how to put their kids through college, but you deliver an insurance check to her that allows her to help that happen. Like, I can't bring them back, but financially you're okay. You did the right thing. Like, that whole process of going through and having those conversations and doing the right things for your clients is so rewarding that it doesn't have to be just having a new client. But again, it's missed a lot. It's missed a lot by my peers, and it's just that ongoing plan needs to continue. Like, you shouldn't dread going into your financial advisor's office saying, here we go again. We're going to talk about the S&P and how my account's doing. You should look forward to, boy, what's Brad or Sean or JP or Gary's got planned for me today? I wonder if they'll find something on my taxes. I'm bringing my tax returns in. That's strange, but what are they looking at? Why did they want to see my will? What are we going to talk about with beneficiaries? Oh, it's time to see my attorney now. Like, all those things should be going on in a conversation throughout your kind of relationship with that firm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, it's kind of like you guys get to be a parent. You get to kind of look over their shoulder and say, as a person that loves you, here's probably what should happen next. You can do whatever you want. But as a person that loves you, here's what should happen next.
Yeah.
You kind of get to do a little parenting, even as adults. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Matt. I know we get asked all the time about what's that first 90 days look like, and I think it's just important for people to know it's not painful. It is complex, but a good firm will make it less complex. Take that off your shoulders. They'll do all the paperwork, and you need to sign some paperwork, have some trust, check in on things, but it's not that bad. But hopefully this gives you some insight on what that looks like today.
There we go.
Have a great day, guys.